Hello everyone, my name's Kitetsu and welcome back to my channel. So yesterday I was busy doing my rumours and predictions video, which actually took ages to make, but yeah, I didn't realise there'd actually been finally an update on the Warhammer community site. It feels like it's been so long since I actually reacted to some news. So this article is all about the Light of Eltharion. Yeah, I'm not sure what the point of this little arrow is, but thank you very much Games Workshop for allowing me to skip down a few centimetres. But yeah, this is the model that I famously criticised in my reacting to everything so far about the Lumineth Realm-Lords. Do you know what? Fair play to some of the criticism. I actually didn't know much about who Eltharion was in the old world. Since then, I've been brushing up on my lore, which, by the way, is so much more exciting now going back and reading old world lore. Like, it was fun anyway, but it's even more fun now knowing that the old world at some point is returning to Games Workshop. But yeah, he's actually a fascinating character with a really cool backstory. Like some of the other great characters, he's experienced a few retcons along the way, and he met a fairly unfortunate end in the end times. But yeah, let's dive into this article. I haven't read it yet. So, one of the most amazing models. Yep, okay. Find out why you're going to want him in your army. Now, the first thing I will say, just looking at the pictures, have we got any more pictures of him? I know we've looked at the artwork and it started to make a bit more sense that it's an empty suit of armor when you look at this. But yeah, when you actually look at these pictures of the model, I think he looks a lot better than, here we go, the view where I first ever saw him. It doesn't look quite as good as when you actually see him in the context of the other models and a background. Hang on a minute, look what we've got here. That's our first full, more detailed view of the alternative weapon options for these guys. It's still a little bit blurry and hard to see. I'll try and do a zoom in of that in a minute. But yeah, from the offset, he does definitely look better than I initially thought. But right, in addition to being a frankly amazing model, if they do say so themselves, he has a long and fascinating history. He was known as Eltharion the Grim. Now, I believe he was initially known as Eltharion the Blind, and he had this amazing backstory of being captured by Malekith, as he was then known, Malerion now, in Age of Sigmar. But yeah, he was captured, he was tortured, he used to have a blindfold around his eyes, and to be fair, he sounded pretty grim back then. Yeah, it says he was a champion of the elven race long ago in the world that was, a gifted leader. He fell to Arkhan the Black in the end times. That's kind of glossing over it a little bit. They had a pretty epic duel by the sounds of things, and Arkhan literally evaporated him into dust. It sounded pretty epic. I'm sure a lot of people weren't very happy with him meeting that end, but yeah, I mean, they don't really tell you that much about him, considering there will be people who don't know who he is. But he was kind of like a genius of warfare. He would ride around on his griffin. He was so skilled at aerial combat that he even defeated Malekith in a battle. But the thing he was most known for was fighting orcs. Time after time, he would have to fight an orc war, and yeah, he would win every time. Apparently, he was such a great challenge for the orcs that they would literally want to go seek him out and fight him. So yeah, Arkhan the Black was trying to resurrect Nagash. Eltharion thought he would go and stop him, and yeah, that didn't go according to plan. So it says here, his essence was never claimed by Nagash. Pieces of it lingered on. Teclis finds the pieces, he assembles them, forges him a new suit of armor, gives him a pair of blades that would feel familiar to him, and bound his soul to them. Now, my first thought there is, well, if they can take the spirits of people out of Slaanesh and reform them into an elf, why could they not do the same with him? But I guess maybe it's because there are only pieces of it lingering on. Maybe it's not the full part of him. Who knows? But I guess I still would have liked to have seen a physical model. It's still cool, don't get me wrong. But anyway, let's have a look. It's not easy to harm a warrior with no body. He has 7 wounds. I mean, that's okay, I guess. It's nothing special. I think Gotrek has got 8 wounds. Dryker's got 10, if I remember rightly. Just picking on other models that have returned from the old world. But there we go, a 3+ save profile. That in Age of Sigmar terms is fantastic. Okay, he has a special rule that makes him pretty tough to take out. I'm wondering if we're going to see that. Yeah, here we go, spirit armor down there. So confidently send him into battle straight away, and he's got his 2 swords, Fang Sword and Selenari Blade. The Fang Sword has 4 attacks, hitting on a 2, which is superb, wounding on a 3, which is fantastic. -3 rend, that's pretty lethal. D3 damage is always nice, should be averaging 2 there. Then his Selenari Blade, 2 attacks, hitting on 2 again, wounding on a 3 again, with a -1 rend this time, same damage. So pretty much the same thing, but obviously the Fang Sword has got twice the amount of attacks and far better rend. When he charges, his Fang Sword is more deadly, so add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made with this when he charges. So wow, when he's charging, he's hitting and wounding on a 2, which means the odds are in your favor that you are going to land all 4 of those attacks and potentially negate their save for 8 damage, maybe even 12 if you were insanely lucky. In addition, if you've got an unmodified wound roll of a 6, you will do a mortal wound in addition. So yeah, this guy is certainly not going to be struggling to dish out the damage. In addition, he can fling searing darts of light from his gauntlets in the shooting phase. Have we got the stats for that? No, we don't know quite how good that's going to be at the moment. And he can shrug off blows that would slay a mortal warrior outright. So let's see what his armor does. Ignore modifiers positive and negative when making save rolls. So basically he's going to totally ignore rend. That is going to massively help with his survivability. In addition, half the damage inflicted by attacks from missile weapons or melee weapons. So again, he takes half damage. That's really cool. I like that. Reminds me of is it the Frosthorn or the Thunder Tusk, whichever one it is, that takes half damage as well. So actually those 7 wounds, they're looking pretty good right now. Anything else to talk about? Supreme Swordmaster. Ignore negative modifiers when making hit rolls. So he's always going to be hitting on a 2, basically, with nothing changing that. In addition, a hit roll of a 6 scores 2 attacks, but you do have to make your wound and save rolls for each one. So yeah, very durable, very good at dishing out damage. It's actually a pretty decent and exciting stat line. Is he too powerful? Is there a bit of power creep going on here? Hard to say. I mean, we haven't seen the points cost, but yeah, he certainly does seem really good. So let's take a moment to recap. He's a legendary swordsman. You'll want to get him into combat as quickly as possible. Not hard to imagine him ending up in collections. Exciting painting project. Shines on the tabletop as a leader of your Realm-Lords army. You'll need to get your hands on the battle tome to learn more about him. I really hope that they do a decent, do justice to his character by fleshing out who he was before as much as who he is now, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Information on the book and model coming very soon. It is actually quite surprising how many characters have now returned from the old world in Age of Sigmar. I've tried to show as many of them as I could think of off the top of my head on this image here, but elves seem to be doing particularly well in that respect. We've got Alariel, Malarion obviously to come, we've got Marathi, Dryka, Teclis, we still need the model for Tyrion, Gotrik's returned, Thanquol and Bone Ripper are back, we've obviously got the Mortarks and Nagash, Lord Croak, Archaon. This is actually inspiring me to make another video. Let me know down below if you'd be interested to see a video perhaps where I talk about these characters and how they have made a return into the mortal realms of Age of Sigmar. Anything else? Ah yes, I'll look at the Hammer Elf dudes. Right, so I just really quickly erased some of the background around this so we've got a bit of a clearer view of what we're looking at. The background's a little bit distracting there. Does it look better than these hammers here? Possibly. I mean, the design of these is starting to grow on me. I know I offended some people by saying that elves shouldn't be carrying hammers because it's not very graceful, but some people turned around and said, well, elves are master craftsmen. They're used to using hammers. Would I still prefer them to be using two-handed swords? Absolutely. I know a lot of other people seem to be particularly bothered about these horns on the top of their helmets. I can't imagine it would be that difficult for you to do a conversion to fix that, but yeah, that never particularly bothered me when I saw these models. I think it was more the hammers. It looks like this guy and this guy have both got that type of hammer. I can't really see what this guy's got, but yeah, it looks like you're definitely going to have at least one choice of weapon options for the unit. But yeah, nice to be able to see it properly for the first time. I know we sort of saw it a little bit in a really blurry image, but yeah, I think that is it for me. Am I possibly reading into the fact that we have Flesh Eater Courts again popping up on Games Workshop when my rumour video suggested we could be getting some new Flesh Eater Court models? perhaps, but maybe I'm reading into that too much. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please, Games Workshop, keep these news articles coming. I love reacting to them. It's great fun. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new. And yeah, I will see you guys really soon. Oh, and if you are waiting for my next model range review, I have recorded one for the Gloomspike Gits. It was meant to be today's video, but I will possibly end up putting that up tomorrow now. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys really soon.